Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I've mentioned in previous posts or in recent videos, this lovely little piece is struggling with an alternator. Pretty sure the alternator is dead, almost 99.99% confirmed. Alternator is dead. So this afternoon, we're going to be replacing the alternator in this. Our lovely friends, as always, at Mods Direct. Shout out to Mods Direct. I know they love it. Have hooked me up with the parts again. Jellic alternator to fit the R31. Nice, shiny, new looking, new looking piece of gear. The only thing I think may be different on this is the belt wheel, the pulley. I think I might have to change that over for the old one. It's a straight fit anyway, so it doesn't really make a big difference. This is the Bosch fitting for those who are interested. There's Bosch and there is I can't think of the other name. There is two different brands you can get on the R31s. Mine is currently running a Bosch, has the Bosch plugs and everything all ready to go. So that will bolt straight on. Nice looking new little unit. So that will hopefully fix all the issues that we've been having. I did actually take it out yesterday to the Super Drift Series out of Eastern Creek. Ran okay out there, but I could tell as I was getting out there, the revs were getting worse and worse as it was running out of charge. And then driving home was just an absolute dog to get at home. So looking forward to getting this on. Hopefully it's going to run a little bit better as well, because it means I'm going to be getting better spark. The spark plugs are kind of fouled, so probably not today, but this week I want to get this on, at least test it, make sure it's running. At some point this week, I'm going to take the spark plugs out and redo all those ahead of the wet pen event next weekend. So we have a full day wet pen event next weekend, which is in like 5 days, 6 days. Both myself and Marissa are going to be running in that one. So I want to get that out, clean it all up, make sure the plugs and everything are running nice, just to make sure it's performing as best it can. And that'll be a first real kind of test to make sure it's all running sweet with the new alternator and everything ready to go, which sound like it was about to fall off. Yeah, outside of that, so steps for the alternator, for those playing at home, disconnect battery. If you are working on the cars at all and you're doing anything electrical, please disconnect your battery whilst you're doing any wiring or anything to do with electrical systems. If you don't, you run the risk of not just giving yourself a nice little shock, because it is some pretty decent amperage that goes through these things. You run the risk of blowing and short-circuiting all sorts of systems in your car. Even this sort of thing runs a very basic, but it does run an ECU. If you short out the wrong thing, if you short out the wrong fuse, if you cross the wrong wires, you can risk blowing up ECUs, you can risk blowing up sensors, all sorts of stuff. Just easier. 2 bolts or 2 nuts, take your connectors off, disconnect the battery altogether, and you're sweet to go. I will put this on charge whilst I'm doing all this work as well anyway. I'm actually going to take the battery out, just because where it is going to give me a little bit more room to get down towards the alternator. Bring this down so you can see. So battery is here, alternator is there. So by getting this out of the way, I'm going to have a little bit more room to get in there to get to the alternator anyway. So it just makes sense to get it out of the way now. I'll pop it down, get that on charge while I'm working on it anyway, just to make sure it's all sweet. Get it as healthy as we can before we put it back in. Shouldn't be too long. It's literally like 3 plugs, 2 screw plugs, 1 plug, and like 2 bolts, the fastening bolt down the bottom or the pivot bolt down the bottom, and the adjustment bolt up the top. So shouldn't take too long to do. I'm reckoning probably an hour or so and we'll get it all done. But yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so as you can see, great success. Yeah, all running beautifully. Easy fitment, took me less than an hour as expected. Yeah, went in perfect, plugs are all good. Just picked up one more washer for one of the screw-on plugs. Just like to have them sandwiched between washers. Like it had a little spring washer there, like a little bow spring washer, and the nut on it. But I'd prefer to have it like 2 washers either side. Just gives it a much better mating service, I find, for the electrical contacts. But outside of that, yeah, worked perfect. Went in easy. Seems to be running all right. Took a little second for the ECU to kind of, because obviously I'd unplug the battery, ECU reset. Took a second for the ECU to kind of catch back up and get all the sensors and stuff right. So I was running a little bit weird to start with, which you might see I've got the multimeter on good to start with, and then was kind of like, meh. But no, all worked well once it all settled down, running nice. I have, you'll see in the video, I did put the timing light on to double check the timing just to make sure everything was all good there. I have advanced the timing just a fraction. 15 degrees is about where they sit stock. I know some guys will raise them up to 20, 25 degrees, but then you're starting to pre-detonation and all sorts of ugly stuff. I have raised it up to sort of put about another degree of timing into it. It's about 16 degrees it's sitting at the moment. Just to get a little bit more oomph, just a little bit more performance. I mean, a little bit like microscopic, a little bit. Just helps it run a little bit smoother, a little bit more pickup, I find, just on sort of the bottom end. But also just to kind of cheat and advance the timing just a little bit, just to hold the throttle up a little bit and kind of keep those volts up just while the battery's getting sorted again. Obviously, running with a shit alternator, the battery's kind of been through a bit of punishment for a little bit. So I'm just trying to make sure that's healthy, nothing going on there. I haven't given a proper road test drive. May have had a couple of drinks when I got home from work this afternoon. It is double demerit, so I'm not going to risk taking it even around the block because Murphy's Law. I'll take it around the block and there's going to be a cop 3 doors up waiting for me. So I'll take it for a run tomorrow. But yeah, first signs looks like it's all fixed, which is massive relief. There's nothing else major going on. The biggest issue, and you could see it when it was here even, you'd sort of rev it, just using the cable, rev it up. Obviously the revs go up whilst it's moving or whilst the alternator's running. But then as soon as you came off throttle and it went back down to idle, it'd drop like low 12s. It was initially, which kind of got me a little bit worried. But obviously after the issue kind of settled back in, you do it and it'll drop back down to 13, 13.2 and then back sort of filter its way back up to sort of 13.5 and sit around there. So yeah, looks like it's all sorted. So absolute winning. On to the next thing. As I said, probably the next couple of days, I've got to go and actually get all the photos and stuff done from Super Drift. So that's going to be the rest of my night tonight. So no more car stuff. But probably the next couple of days, in the next couple of days, I have got the Friday off before the wet pan. So I've got Friday, Saturday, and then wet pan is on the Sunday. Possibly the Friday or even maybe Thursday. I'm going to do all the, as I said, I'm going to pull MAF sensor off, give the MAF sensor clean, give the plugs a clean, just make sure everything's all nice and sweet for the wet pan, and then yeah, good to go from there. Yeah, that's all I got for today. Don't forget, like, subscribe, comment, all down below. The links in the shop to all the merch as well. It's now available. Huge range and ever growing range of stuff that's going to be going on. I am going to put a shirt together, a bit of merch together and designs together from Super Series Round 2. I have done one for Round 1 that is up on the shop now already. You can get it on jumpers, hoodies, t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, and even stickers. I am looking at getting some singlets done as well for those that are like me and don't like the heat. Want to keep it nice and cool whilst you're working on your motor vehicle. So yeah, merch is available down there. Donation links if you want to help out, if you want to jump on and sponsor and give us a hand to get this thing on the track more often, but also get me to events more often to do some photos and videos and catch all the awesome action out there of you guys driving and having fun, enjoying this thing we call drifting. So until next time, guys, have an amazing time. I'll see you out on the track. Ciao.